Good morning. It is 5:30 in the morning, Saturday, September the 21st, 2019. Our Ichimoku cloud is looking bearish all the way through, but other indicators are still holding positive. So I'm keen to go through the routine today and see what the charts are telling us and make some predictions based on it. Of course, these predictions are not actual trading advice, they're just my market observations, and mix it together with your other training for your complete picture of your trading setup. If you haven't already, there's a link down below to How to Overcome Greed and Fear, a book that I just published on Amazon. It is awesome for $4. Great lessons in there for me, and I hope you appreciate it too. Now let's jump into the screen here. Abruptly stop the background music. And we're looking at the price of Bitcoin on the weekly view. We'll go through the weekly view of the relative strength index. We'll go through the on balance volume. We'll take a look at the MACD indicator, and we'll also take a look at the Ichimoku cloud. We'll finish looking at Bitcoin dominance and a scan of what is going on in the altcoins, which is where all of the real magic is setting up right now. Now, if you're new to the channel and you haven't already, be sure to go over to the website introdocryptos.ca and put your email address in to get the free webinar of the complete trading system that I'm talking about here. It'll really help you get up to speed on what we're doing here. And I see that we just went to 99.79, So as we're going through this live stream, we may be watching it crash as we go. So let's go through some of the details. Here in the weekly RSI, I've been watching for this long-term uptrend in the RSI to manifest itself. And all the way through, I've been calling for it to make a pull back so that we could continue the uptrend all the way through this period here. Now we have that pullback, but it's also looking pretty sketchy, like it may be pulling back even further. And we may have this RSI come down to places it's never come down to in the former uptrend. It stayed above these levels all the way along. So that we are hovering at these levels is key to be watching, and we'll zoom in on this indicator now and see what it's telling us. I don't like it. I don't like it as wanting it to go up and predicting that it was going to be going up on a blow off top. This lasted a while as we were going through these ranges, but now, like the charts tell us what's going on. Opinion or not, you have to have clear spots on the chart that when things happen, you already know in advance what you are going to be doing. You already know in advance what your sell signals look like and why. Then you're going to have a lot better chance of calling these properly. And with your risk control rules, you can ease into them properly and keep your risks managed as you're setting up your positions. So all of my alts are set up perfectly right now for this. Let's continue on. 12-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, the RSI really came to an oversold condition here. Oversold condition here, oversold condition here, and all of these things lining up with these reversal candles all the way along here still support that Bitcoin is holding its own here. This could be a lot of dumping against the believers and that it's going to break hard and sharp, but this is still looking pretty good overall. It still hasn't broken the key levels that make me think that we are going to be correcting for a while, but I think that going through these indicators is going to show some more details. Now, as we zoom into the 4-hour and we start going into the 1-hour, it's not going to really help us for the long-term trend as much. We're really looking for if it's oversold, if we're getting a divergence in this as prices are going up, really looking for this to be a 1, 2, 3 on the larger time frame, or we have the 1, 2, 3 on the shorter time frame and we're going down. So we have broken below the 1, 2, 3s on the top time frame. All of these 1, 2, 3s have been broken down below, which turns it all into a bearish view. Now, everything coming up underneath this is a place to be selling or watching the indicators to see if it's giving you that divergence to confirm that we get a little 1, 2, 3 up in this level. Any kind of pullback at all and testing levels from above is places to be looking for the divergences for our sell signals now in Bitcoin. Let's go on to the next indicator. Let me know where in the world you are from. I see we got a few people signing in at this crazy time of the morning. If you are from the US or Canada, you're up pretty early. If you're from Europe or Australia, then this is pretty good time of the day for a live stream for you guys. Let me know if you'd like a regular session at 5 in the morning, or if whenever it turns out is okay. This I've been calling as bearish all the way along, and then I had to remind myself that it's not a leading indicator. It tells us what happens afterwards. And even though we had this massive volume here in 2015, we never touched it again. We never touched that kind of volume again, not yet. We'll see how this plays out. As we're zooming in on this, I want to see if, well, right now we see it's got on balance dumping. Not definitive yet. It could still turn around from where it is, because we had a lot of dumping going on here, and then it picked up to a little bit of buying and then the big dump. So this isn't definitive yet. In fact, I'm losing sort of confidence in it that this, I would say, is a negative divergence. This is a negative divergence. This is the way I've been watching this all the way along here. This is negative divergence. We're going from selling to less, buying to less buying to less buying, buying to less buying going on here. Hey, Rick, good to have you along. Istanbul, Portugal. Tudo bem, amigo? Eu falo pouco português. These updates are pure gold. Keep up the great work. Hi from Greece. Great to see you. I've got a friend in Greece, Konstantinos. He was a great friend back in university days. And he's a PhD guy in Greece now somewhere. Anyway, let's go on now to the dumping going on here. We see on balance, it's been less and less buying. So if my way of watching this is valid, and I'm not really sure, then this is calling for more dumping. There's just no bulls coming in. They don't have the power. They're not buying. So let's go into the 4-hour time frame. Selling, less selling, and a little bit of dumping going on here. Let's zoom in more. On to the 1-hour time frame, I would be calling this bullish, because we have this major dumping and less dumping going on here. The bears don't seem to have the power now. And so this is a 1, 2, 3 on the way down, and it's a potential for a 1, 2, 3 right at the very tip of this massive triangle. And I got to say, even though I was really bullish earlier and expecting all of these things to be going up, expecting it to go up, expecting it to go up, now that we've come to this point and we've gone below these levels, it is harder to think that it's going to be doing that. It absolutely, as I said, I don't know, 2 days ago, it has to puncture back up above these levels before I'm going to go bullish again. And then poof, it did that. It punctured right back up above them and continued the fade off here. And now it seems to me like we've got the slinkies down the stairs, you know, boom, 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 crash. And then mom steps on it. She gets mad. You know the whole story. Anyway, zooming in now, there's dumping going on here. It's not that strong comparatively, but it's below those levels that, once it starts to slip and slide, then it builds on itself. It snowballs on itself. And we'll talk about the longs versus the shorts in a very short bit here. Another bearish view is the MACD indicator. This has been bearish for a long time, and I've been in denial. And I've been saying, no, it's this, it's that. Look into the zoomer, the close time frames. Let's zoom in on these histograms, each individually, as we go. And I was really finding all of the bullish things I can. And this just stays bearish week after week after week. That histogram is growing bigger. If it was going the other direction, I could talk a little bit more about the bull. But right now, not so much. It really has to pull and change direction. What are we now, Saturday? So this candle closes tomorrow, and we're starting the next week's candle. And then we'll see what's going on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. As this unfolds, maybe there'll be something for me as a bull. But right now, I'm hard off into altcoins, where they are setting up such amazing bottom formations, such an amazing chart. I can't wait to show that part at the end of this stream here now. Bearish. I was wanting this to be bullish. We had this double cross here, and it was looking good. But that it has crossed over is a continuation of more bearish. And this was one of the things that was holding me into a bullish stance, is that this was holding these nice levels. It was still positive. It was going up. But now that it slipped down to a negative histogram, I'm losing it there. I can't hold on to that slippery surface there. Now when we go into the 12-hour, it is still negative and on its way down. This is, yeah, and it's more bearish than I wanted it to be. As we were talking through this period saying, oh, we got higher lows here, but then this is not really higher lows. This is lower lows, and this is not diverging nicely from it. So that kind of took some of the steam out of the wind out of the sail. Now that we're crossing this way and this is, crossed over negative, that's not good. It's just, it can turn around here, of course, but that it is negative, I want to pay attention to, because that adds up. Here, this was, soft, negative, no big turnaround, no jolt. We do have higher lows all the way along. So if it switches and breaks above these levels, then I'll have to sing a different tune again. But for now, while it's under these key levels, man, that is all just bearish. And I'm expecting a sharp move down now that I wasn't expecting before. So this is pretty wild. If you're trading on this kind of time frame, I personally get chewed up on these kind of time frames. I have to stand back, take a smaller position, have wider stops, and take an opinion on the whole move of the market rather than these kind of short things back and forth. Chews me up. Let's zoom in to the 15-minute time frame. This is for true whale food. This is baiting area for true whale food. And everybody who got chewed up here, and wasn't standing back far enough that you could ride this move and just not even, this is nothing. This kind of percentage move should be nothing in your trades. You should have low enough leverage that this doesn't hurt you. And some people are going long here and getting out here. Absolutely great. Going short here and getting out here. Absolutely great. For me, it's all theory and it's all looks good on the charts in hindsight. But to trade that in forward sight, for my own part, I need to step back further on the markets. Let's go into the Ichimoku cloud. Do I think that backed, I don't even know how to pronounce that, means a massive dump? No, I don't think it's that's causing the massive dump. This is just the line of least resistance. We've come up that high and it's probably going to pull back. In a bit, I'll go into the historical charts and take a look at some of the stuff there for some ideas of what might happen. But for now, just all of the chart patterns, like all of the indicators, the 1, 2, 3 formations and everything shows that the line of least resistance seems to be down from here. Seems to be, and you can never know, and this is why the risk control rules that you build into your trading plan are more important than your entries and your exit levels, really. And I didn't learn about those until I lost all my money twice, and it wasn't the last time I lost all my money too. And I had to learn those risk control rules and relearn them. So now, anyway, the weekly view of the Ichimoku cloud it's been calling for 7,500 for months as it was coming into these levels. This is important that we are in a position that we are poked up through the cloud and that is twisted positive in the longer term view. But in the overall, if we go log on this, logarithmic, this is perfect. That would be perfect for it to come back to the 7,500 level. It be perfect in the uptrend, not abnormal at all. So for us to be seeing now that the charts are setting up for that, that's okay. Just got to be ready for it. Here, the Ichimoku cloud has kicked my ass a few times and I'm giving it much more respect now than I did before. I was always sort of, I don't know, my opinion was against Ichimoku cloud. It kicked my ass a few times as we've been doing these live streams. And so now that it is setting up in this position, I just got to go bearish on the daily view. We go into the 12-hour view. It is still bearish. We have a twist to the net. We got, 4 different things we look for here. Is it twisted positive or negative? Red is negative, green is positive. Is the price below the cloud? That's negative. Is the blue line below the red line? That's negative. Is the trailing indicator cutting through all of the price, the blue line and the red line? That's negative. So all of those things put together are negative, and then we add that into our 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, and our technical patterns. It all confirms this is looking pretty not so good, and it really has to poke up above these levels to change. Otherwise, it's inevitable. Go into the 4-hour chart. This is also negative. So as we're zooming in, if it was bullish, this would have changed the whole. There would have been a whole different candle here, and this would have been exactly mirror image, not where it's going now. This would have been exactly mirror image, and it wasn't. So you've got to flip your plans. You've got to pay attention to what the market's doing. Now it looks like it's bearish, although this is crossed to the positive. That's positive. This is negative. The price level is down below the cloud, generally negative. In the, this time frame, what is this? The 1 hour time frame. This is one of my favorites now. It's whipsawing pretty bad, but it's coming down below the cloud. The blue line is crossed below the red. The trailing indicator is cut through everything. We've just had a twist to the negative. Again, there's nothing I can say good about Bitcoin bull stance until it breaks up above these levels. And if it does another one of those reversal hammer candle things and gets up above these levels, all things change all again. But so long as they stay down below this, we are in sell zone for sure. That's the 1 hour time frame. 15-minute time frame's also looking pretty sell signal. We got all of it here. Sell signal earlier. This is a nice sell signal. We've got to break below these trend lines. Look at that. It's all setting up. Down, down, down from here. And I'm not short in this right now. But were I to go short, I would be planning it out for something not too long of a hold. And I would be targeting something in a 50% level of this move. So the 50% level roughly is $8,200. And then what I'm looking for is that 1, 2, 3 bottom and a turnaround in all of our indicators. We'll have the RSI diverging. We'll have the MACD switching and crossing over. We'll have it'll be down below the Ichimoku cloud and poking up through. Now, that's what we'll watch for on the way down. But right now it is sell signal zone. So I would put on a hair of my trade as it's coming here. I'd put my limit order just behind, let it touch me in. I'd put a little bit of my trade order on here. If it broke these levels, I would add on to the position and I'd be looking to take profits. If it come down to the 8,200 level, I would just close my position. Half of it at least. Maybe I would keep a little bit to see if it continued further and that I could get out at the $7,500 level. Either one of these ranges be feathering out of it, because overall I'm super bullish and I don't think this is going to be very deep. Let's go and I'll tell you after this. I'll come back to the Ichimoku cloud and I'll tell you why I don't think it's going to go too deep, and the reversal will be fast. First of all, let's go into Bitcoin price. Ethereum price making a beautiful bottom formation, took off higher. I think it's going to consolidate a bit, but if Bitcoin's dropping, this could easily poke up. We've got so much history in this one-day view. Look at this, how low it is compared to history. These are all the alts. Insane. The only time we've seen this before was in March of 2017 and back in, it was the summer of 2015 that I made some of my first 10-time gains. And then but anyway, here we go. Well, there's my drawing tool. The Bitcoin longs have been going up and up and up. Everybody's super bullish on this. There's too many longs. We have too many longs. If we go back to July, right here, July 10th. I think it was right there in the chart. We had too many longs. Prices came back. Longs fell like crazy. Prices came up to... There's July 10th. So this is the June move here. Then here's July 10th. Then we came back up in August. Too many longs. They got hammered. Now we have even more longs as it's coming up to these levels. If the crowd is always wrong, and generally they are, then this is a perfect recipe for manipulation in the market to me. And we can see the shorts starting to rise a bit now as the manipulators are getting set. They're getting prepared. They can see how many people have long positions. They can see exactly where their stop losses are. So you've got this nice long position. You've got your stop close to the market to be safe, right? But no, you're setting yourself up for the bots to munch you, the whales to have lunch. Because as soon as this goes down, the shorts, like me, start adding on to the position because you've been proven correct. And as soon as it starts to crack, now all of those longs are getting liquidated. And if you're getting liquidated, I've been liquidated before, your risk control rules are killing you. Then prices are going to come down here. People are getting shorted more. They're getting squeezed out of the market. Finally, they can't take it anymore, and it comes way back up. Just at this point, it's mathematical. It's pre-written. You can see it in the human psychology. You can see it in the numbers. It's all easily manipulated, way outside of my zone, outside of my money power to do. Not even my audience here is big enough that we could manipulate the market. But the numbers are all there. So let's watch this manipulation occur and watch for this bottom formation to shape up here. The alts should blast off to the moon as this is happening, and they should be caught and top out at this very same time. So our Bitcoin dominance then will drop from here as Bitcoin drops. Bitcoin dominance will come back down as the alts are really taking their day in the sunshine. Let's see if dominance gets back to the 60-61% as Bitcoin is getting back to $82 to $7,800. That's when the alts will be making their top formation, and we should be switching. The water slides from one side of the boat to the other side of the boat. There's not a lot of new money coming into the alts. There is, but not comparison to where the money that's in the alts is switching back and forth. These are very skilled traders that have a lot of money, and they recognize that alts have made more money and is a bigger opportunity than the stock market, maybe bigger than gold and silver, which are insanely big opportunities right now. So I guess nothing will happen as BACT starts. BACT is just going to make things get whipsawed big time. I think that they will sell the shit out of the market as it's starting to come down. They're going to make a huge profit in a fast amount of time. Now we have some more leveraged markets for the altcoins. And it's the world against the United States now, because the world can go short and the United States cannot. You can only buy low and sell high. You have to use the futures contracts if you're in the United States. You can't actually go short of the item itself. You have to go short of the derivative of the item. Anyway, we'll see how that turns out. But I think the US is just going to get hammered because they just can't trade the same way as the rest of the world, and the rest of the world can use that against the US. Now I wanted to go back just before I finish up the stream here and go over some examples in the past, because I was looking at the Ichimoku cloud and bringing it back and forth from the present day. So I want to take this mental picture in my mind, and for my own part, it's a short-term picture that just evaporates. So I want to remember now that the red cloud is above. We've come up above the green cloud, gone into the green. Now we are below the red cloud. The red is above us right now. So what I'm wanting to just make that reference in my mind, and now I want to zoom this back and go to some historical levels. Did this happen before? In the upstream, did we ever have this prices go below the cloud and the cloud be parallel like this, and then we went up above it? And as I was watching through all the way through here, there's almost no place that the cloud was parallel sideways while the price was underneath it. The cloud is always declining or ascending. It's either going one direction or the other, almost never going straight sideways with the price underneath it. Very few times, but we can see that it definitely did happen. And then prices came up through that cloud, above the cloud, back through the cloud. And let's drag this over and just watch it all the way along here. Came back below the cloud. Look at this sharp move. I'll bet your dollars to donuts that there was way too many longs in the market right here. And this is what I'm expecting. Jump on that, add on to that short fast, get ready to take your profits if it spikes down there, and get out. Short trades are short term and never been my forte. I'm practicing them now. So you guys are my guinea pigs as I'm getting ready to short, and I'm practicing it. I'm repeating out what my plan is over and over again so that I do it without thinking about it. Now I'm going through and I'm looking for more instances. Where were we below the cloud, and what happened? As we went through the cloud, it stayed green. As we went through the cloud, it stayed green. This is a buy signal in the Ichimoku uptrend. When it gets into the cloud and then comes back out, this is nitro moment. And I can't wait for us to have these consolidations and the nitro movements coming up. But right now, we are just before that. We're not set up for the nitro yet. We're right in this phase here, going to pull back a little bit, dip hard, my thinking. Dip hard and fast, and then bounce right back up. So long as we're staying above the cloud, or we get back above the cloud, then the whole move is good. But right now, the only time the cloud has been parallel and above the prices, look at that. It ain't looking good for bulls. So expect some sharp moves back. Some great percentage drops too. This is not nice if you're holding. Let me go shift, drag this down. That is 47% in 25 days. 47%, I don't want it, in 25 days. Thereabouts. Woo! That would be something nasty. And that is a similar move to what we saw over here. And everything is setting up for that. My bias was completely against it until, it's just gone too far along. My bias has to get overruled. The chart patterns are just kicking ass here. So there we are for my projections for Bitcoin for the next while. And you know what? This is awesome. If you're going to be shorting Bitcoin and you can short it, you've got the NADs to do it, and you can do it at small leverage just to practice it. Or if you're good at it, add the nitro on, because this could be a place to be hammering and making some crazy profits. I see many similarities with this run to the one back in 2012. BLX index has data from the start. Looks like history from 2012. Well, I wasn't paying attention to it then. And even finding the charts to 2012 was kind of hard. There's so much more liquidity. Maybe the patterns are similar, but I don't know. If we take a long-term look at silver and gold, we can see similar patterns too. This is not abnormal. So I am expecting this to be nasty. If we're getting that same 40 odd percent move back, or if we're just going to come down to these historical levels where we're seeing support and resistance in the past, it could be that this is going to be our new level, the 7,500. And 7,500, the Ichimoku cloud has been saying for weeks here. If I clear this off and drag this back, clear this off again, drag this back. It's for a long time now. I've been saying 7,500 just because of the stages of the cloud here that match what we're seeing in the historical prices. So I think that's coming up, even though I wasn't wanting it. The great thing is what's going on with the altcoins as a result. Now, here is wrong screen. I'll come to this in a second because that's where the real data is. But look at this. Our Poloniex bull-bear ratio is way up. This is the real bull market stepping up, starting to come into the alt. You see all these yellow and the green? Yeah, that is the markets coming up into a buy, into alert signal, which means a buy signal is coming. Get ready, like alert. Be alert. This market is getting ready. We have plenty of advanced warning. Then it turns into a hold status. We have plenty of advanced warning. As it moves up, we know when we're going to be taking our profits already. We have plenty of advanced warning. We'll walk through that as the markets unfold. And if you're interested in getting the specifics, the buy and sell signals on this stuff, click on the links below. I don't think there is another service out there that gives the data that we are providing right now on this bull market setup. Not just in this spreadsheet. This is super powerful because it's all visual, but in the specific trading alerts, we get down to the exact entries, exits, profit levels, screenshots, and all of it is available, pumped out to you live so that you get the alerts as they're happening. You get a daily PDF that recaps everything. It's astonishing. But anyway, this is the general view of the bullish bearishness index, and you can use it for trading signals, but it doesn't give you the exact entries and exits. It just gives you the overall tone of the market. And what we're looking at here now is January to February. And if you'll remember, we made some amazing profits from February and March. It absolutely kicked ass. And at the end of March, March 31st, really, you could have sold all of your alts into Bitcoin and you would have been doing the happy dance all this time. Now it's time to flip back the other way, and we can see the data here. So from January, we can see here, these numbers mean the number of fails. They're color-coded red in the spreadsheet. They're going down to new lows. They're failing our bottom formations. Then the next stream is the orange color. Those are nearly failing, almost going down to new lows. It's like an alert to sell it. Get ready. It's going down. Then the neutral markets are those that are in between. You don't know if they're going to go up or down. They're inside that 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, not really doing anything it's hands off, just watch. Then we have the alert status. This means get ready. They are coming up to a hold status. And you can see this increasing as the fails and the near fails decrease. As the neutrals increase, now we're starting to switch over to alerts increasing. And those increased into hold status coins, and we made a phenomenal profit here through February and March. Really great days. And then it was time to close those down and to be into Bitcoin. Now as we scroll down through time, we can see that we've just finished up a major fail stance, near fail stance. We're coming up into neutral. We're coming up to a bunch of coins into alert status and a bunch of coins into hold status. So this is on Poloniex. Yes, and we have the same data happening over on Binance. Look at this, going from all of these fails and near fail markets, now moving into more of a neutral stance. And look at these alerts stance coins stepping up. Look at these hold status coins stepping up. There's some 160 odd coins on Poloniex, and 40 of them are in hold status. Do you have your portfolio set up? Are you starting to stage into these ones? Do you know which ones to stage into? That's what this spreadsheet is for. And this is available for our patron sponsors. You sponsor this live stream and you get access to this super intuitive, visual, super powerful spreadsheet designed for the beginner and for the experienced investor who just wants to have a portfolio and they don't want to be spending a lot of time managing it. They know when to get in, when to get out just by following the color codes. Not too worried about exact entries and exit numbers because you know how long these kind of trends take. Once they start going, there are several months in the trend for us to really milk the great profits out of these. Now, through the day, if you're interested, you can come over and join us on Discord. We talk about what's going on in Bitcoin all through the day. So I sort of continue on with the live stream to say that I expect it's going up or I expect it's going down. And then we follow that through the day over on our Discord chat. So come and join us. There's a free level, and of course there's much more interesting paid level where we have all of our trading alerts coming out. And they are fantastic. There's some amazing setups here, all of them all rolling out right now. We've got a whole bunch that it's just the best time to be setting up in this. Most people are not going to do it though. They're not going to do it till after the alts have gone up a whole bunch, and then they're going to FOMO in afterwards. This is the time to be getting excited about these alts. Now let me see. If there are any questions, if you have a specific market you'd like me to take a look at, let me know. I'd be happy to go over it. But overall, I think we've covered all of the data that is what I wanted to cover in this live stream here today. Sort of like my own personal journal so that I can go back and have a talk to my future self and improve my own trading, improve my own analysis. And for certain sure, it has been working for me, for my own profits and for my own benefits in this stuff. So I hope it is doing the same thing for you guys. I will sign off for now. I don't want to make this stream into a 30-minute stream every day. I would like to get it down to 15 minutes so I just go through the data. And then I want to do the altcoin live stream. There's some information on my Telegram bot. Good. Because I'm having the alerts streamed live over to Discord. And I'm also setting up so that it goes over to a private Telegram chat. Telegram is awesome. I've been on it for a while, but I don't use it much. And so now I'm setting it up so that there's automated alerts go over to the Telegram so that there's news and information there. And we'll see how that picks up. If you guys like Telegram better than Discord, then you'll have a place there for you. that about wraps it up. I will see you guys in the next couple days. Well, tomorrow morning we'll do this again at 5 a.m. so that I get her done before yoga. If I set it up so that I'm doing it at 5 a.m., that gives me a limited time before the 6 a.m. yoga before I'm going to be out of here. So I will do that in the mornings with this stream. And then I'm going to do the longer stream in the afternoon, say 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That would give me the time in the afternoon to have done all of my own trading, all of the spreadsheet updates, and then we could do some commentary on the big six. So everything that is trading on BitMEX. So we'll zoom into what's going on with ADA, BCH, ABC, EOS, Ethereum, Litecoin, Tron, and Ripple here this afternoon. And we'll dig in to see what are these doing. Are these trend continuation formations going on right now? Are they top formations that are going to pull back and Bitcoin's going to blow off to the top? That will be our afternoon discussion here. But I'm bummed. Great to have you guys along. I appreciate it. There's tons of great streams out there, and I appreciate that you're here. I hope that you're getting some great value. Ask any questions, leave any comments down below. I read them all. Cheers. I'll see you on Discord. Bye for now.